start with today's class. All right, you're all welcome to the second to the last class, or second to the last course, which is titled Data Storytelling. This is a very important um, course because for every or any data professional, after having the skill of being able to analyze data, create beautiful looking dashboards and all, and at the end of the day, you're able to communicate your findings or your dashboard in a way that stakeholders and business owners would find it interesting or can relate with, then all the work you've done, all the technical work you've done will be, just will not have any value. So that's the reason why we have put this course together called data storytelling. And in this course, you are not only going to learn how to tell story in the presentation phase, but you also learn how to present your data using the right charts. So I'd like to ask at this point, how many of us were able to go to the videos uploaded for this course in the classroom? If you did, raise your hand. Raise hand, don't give me thumbs up, just raise hand. If you're able to go through the videos in the classroom. Okay, Tosin did. I also went to the video. Just Tosin and myself. Wow. Mm, very good number. Okay, very good number. So for those of you who did not go through it, what's your plan? What do you plan to go back to it after today's class? Given that we know our structure, the structure is you go through the material before coming for the live session. So now that we're going to have the live session, do you plan to go back to the classroom and go to the videos, or you just feel that it's not important? What's your plan? Let me start with Fakoya Tosin. Oliver Tosin, let me hear you. Please quickly because of time, so that we can cover what we need to cover. Oliver Tosin Fakoya. Tosin, I'm waiting for you to say something. The mic is muted in case you're speaking. You have to unmute your mic so that we can hear you. Please, the closest person to Tosin should help me tap her. I guess she has slept off. She must have slept off on the call. Even the tapping is not working. Wow, that means the sleep must be a very deep sleep. So we pray that the Holy Spirit will help her to come back so that she can attend to my question. Okay, let me go to Adedeji. Adedeji, the next person on my screen. Let me hear you. What's your plan concerning the video and the material uploaded in the classroom? I noticed that your mic you've turned on your mic, but I can't hear you. I don't know if anybody can hear Adedeji. Please, Tosin for you, can you hear Adedeji? Okay. Adedeji, I guess you have to the call and join again since your mic is having issues. Okay, so let me go to Dorcas. Dorcas, what's the plan? The next person on my screen.
network that I didn't allow you to sit. Can you hear me? Hello? Okay. Is Amnandi unmuted in case you are
Okay.
speaking? Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I can please come again. Please come again. I didn't hear you. My network went
So
off.
I, yeah, so I said I raised my hand as one of the people that had looked at the videos. I don't know if it's the network that didn't let
Oh,
you
okay,
sit.
okay. Okay, okay, that is fine.
Yeah.
Chidima, what's your
Okay.
plan? Thank you very much. Chidima, what's your plan? All right. We hope you do that. It's important. Okay, so let's continue. Data storytelling. So what's data storytelling? What does it entail? So it's all about starting from your data presentation, like trying to put your charts together, picking the right charts to making a good story out of the data presented to you. So I have a summary definition of what data storytelling is all about here in my slide. So I said data storytelling is the practice of using data, visualizations, and narrative techniques to communicate insights, findings, and trends in a way that resonates with an audience and helps them understand the significance of the data. So, all of these things you're learning here, we would like you to put it to heart because immediately you start your internship, we want to begin to see the practical application of what you've learned. So, like the interns, the guys currently doing their internship now, sometimes they'll be told to, they'll be given some queries, questions to get answered with some data sets. And the way they go ahead to present their report, like I then begin to ask myself, did these people actually went through data fight? Sometimes I was even pushed to call some of them and ask them. So if I was not part of your training, right, I would have thought that these things you are doing right now, you were not taught at all during your training. But I was part of a training. I knew what you guys went studied, or what you guys studied, or what you guys what you were taught. So how come is it that you're not implementing those things? So that then bring us back to the point that it seems a lot of the students just attend classes, but they don't put their hearts to it, and or maybe they forget things easily. So as a data analyst, you should be someone who pays attention to detail. You should be someone who puts something to heart, especially when it has to do with your job as a data analyst or your presentation format or your how to help you improve in your delivery. So as you can see in the definition of data storytelling that I have highlighted here, I said it is solely for to help the user or the audience or the stakeholder to understand the significance of the data that they have given you. So you have to, this particular course will teach you from beginning to the end how to present your data. And if you have a need, or if you have there's a need for you to give so presentation comes in two ways or in two forms, so you can see it from two different perspectives. There's a perspective of presentation in terms of your organization of a data set as a report or as a dashboard. That is a presentation. There's also a presentation that is in terms of you giving an oral presentation, like you explaining what you have done. So you would find yourself doing those two. Even you have been doing it already before now in the course, and then you'd have to do it at the end when you have your capstone project. So for all the projects you have worked on so far, you're going to give it, you have a presentation in terms of documentation in your GitHub repository. Then your final capstone project will be defended. This is where you present your dashboard. That is when the oral presentation comes in. So all of these presentation parts, whether it is written or dashboard formats or oral presentation, you would learn some of the important concepts or skills that you need to capture in this course. So that is all about digital storytelling. Now there are three important means of communication by way of presenting your data or telling story with your data. I will give a short description of these three different methods or means, and I need you to pay very, very close attention to this while we would ask questions. I will ask follow-up questions after explaining these three means of communication. So the first means I would like to talk about is infographics, right? So what's an infographics? An infographic is a combination of visuals, text, and icons to present complex data in a visually appealing and easily digestible format. They are great for summarizing key points and insights. So sometimes you'll be told specifically to design an infographic to present a report, right? So when I say report now, in quotes, not report as a means. Okay, so you should understand what infographics are. And for better understanding, I would like us to search for examples of infographics. I'll go to the internet now and just type samples of infographics so that you see what it means. And then with the definition I've given, that will also help us grasp the concept. So these are a lot of examples of infographics as seen on my screen. Let me see if this will give us more examples. There are some sites that you can always go to check out for infographics. Okay, these are nice examples, samples of infographics. I'm yet to see anyone that I would love to use to explain the definition or description further. I don't think I like any of these ones here. Let me try some other one, some other sites. Okay, this one is from Canvas or Canva rather. Infographics in Canva. Okay, yeah, this is great. Let's work with this. Now, when you look at these infographics, right? When you look at this, excuse me, let me open this in Canvas. It's opening. Coming back to the definition. See, it's a combination of visuals, text, and icons. So come back here. If you look at this, we have text, right? We have visuals, we have icons. So right now, this is an icon. This is an icon. This is an icon. This is an icon. So the icon are just some kind of symbolic image that represents something. So when you see brief as a section here, this is timeline design process. Brief, this icon kind of represents what's meant by brief. Brainstorm. These are kind of people trying to brainstorm online. This is a device, an icon that depicts brainstorming. To sketch, this is an icon that might depict sketch, but there are other icons that might even be more suitable to use for this ones here, because this is just like a template. Solution, this is an icon that can depict solution. Design, this is an icon that can depict design, revision, presentation, and all. But the bottom line is that whenever you see an infographics, it has a combination of visuals, text, and images that are used to explain some concepts in a very, very creative manner. So, as a data analyst, there are times that you would have to be you will require to create infographics. So these are different examples of infographics. This is another one that looks good. This application of numbers. Let me open this one. This is another example of infographic in Canva. Sorry, addition by the numbers. And these are different images that tries to explain what the text says. Global depression, hospital admission, economic costs, and so on and so forth. So this is what we refer to as infographics. So if you are required or asked to create an infographics, you know what to do, or you know what it means, right? What an infographic means. And one good tool that allows for the creation of infographics is Canva. Canva is an awesome place to create infographics. You can also, for those of us who have idea of graphic, as other graphic tools like CorelDRAW or any Adobe family, it could be Adobe Illustrator, it could be Photoshop or any design tool. Those tools are also great in creating infographics. Now, just like this infographic that says 5 reasons you should do what? Let me open this one. Just like this one that says 5 reasons you should use an infographic, right? It has some charts. So there are times that you would even create using a visualization tool, create some charts that can be cropped out and placed in an infographic. You can also use Power BI to create an infographics too. You can use it to create an infographic. The idea is you should understand what an infographic means. So look at 5 reasons why you should use an infographic, right? Number one, it says to increase engagement. Infographics can be more engaging than text-based content as they use visual elements such as images, charts, and graphics to grab the viewer's attention. Like I said, this is already captured in my definition. Then the second point is to simplify complex information. Here, infographics can help to present complex data and information in a clear, concise, and easy to understand format. The third reason is to increase brand awareness. Infographics can be used as marketing tool to increase brand awareness and showcase a company's expertise in a simplified or specific field. You can see an image that tries to depict what brand awareness is all about. Then number four, we have to explain a process. Infographics is, in fact, this is one of the best use of infographics. To explain process can be used to explain a process or procedure in a clear and simple manner. Very, very crucial. Then to make data more accessible, infographics can be used to make data more accessible to a wider audience by presenting it in visual format. So that is infographics, and that is how it's and those are examples. We've seen quite a number of examples of infographics. So in case you hear infographics, you know what we are talking about. Yes, is there any question about infographics before I move on to the next data communication or means of communication? Any question about infographics, please? All right, so in the absence of questions, I think I can move on to the next. The next is reports. So by reports, what do we mean by reports? Okay, so a report is a combination of data visualization with the whole purpose, listen carefully, with the sole purpose of providing in-depth data analysis. Listen carefully to this definition. A report is combination of data visualization with the sole purpose of providing in-depth data analysis, allowing users to explore various aspects of the data and uncover meaningful insights. So what is the sole purpose of report? In-depth data analysis. I know I'm stressing on this point because later on you'll be tested on on this particular definition of report. So whenever you have a report, it means you want to give an in-depth data analysis and you want to allow users to explore various aspects of data and uncover meaningful insights, not just like an overview, right? Uh, and a report can also come in terms of combination of course, like I said, combination of data visualization, like visuals and text. But in terms of reports, there are more text. So in fact, a report can have visuals, text, tables, and like that, different charts, pie charts. So a table will come, then an explanation will follow, a chart to come, an explanation will follow. In fact, for those of us who, I believe almost everybody on this call had gone through first, we have first degree, right? And everybody who have gone through, done a first degree should have an idea of research, at least to a first degree level, where you need to pick a project topic and begin and do a research a topic, try to write up and present a project at the end of the day. So in your chapter 4 discussion and your methodology, all of those things, especially in chapter 4 where you do analysis and discussion, what you are presenting there is a report, actually. It's a report of your findings. So you see, for those people who did statistical test or statistical analysis, you begin taking a screenshot of the table, or you create a table and then talk about the figures that are on the table, explaining them, in detail. So what you have there is a report, right? But at that level, it is more of academics research or research kind of report are given. But in terms of business intelligence phase, we are not only given just reporting because we want to write text, but we are trying to make sense or provide more insights into the data that had been presented to us by creating charts and visualizations, putting them up on different pages and describing them better. So it will give an in-depth analysis and report someone. It takes time for somebody to go over a report. It's not at a glance. That is reports. All right. I would have loved to show you an example of reports, but you can find reports online, different examples. But because of time, excuse me, please. But because of time, I'd like us to just forge ahead. Now, and then for dashboard, it's also a combination of data visualizations, just like reports. But what is the sole aim here? With the sole aim of providing top level data summary. See the difference. For reports, they are similar, but the difference is that report provides in-depth data analysis, in-depth. And I think I've given an in-depth explanation also. But for dashboard is top level data summary. So what we have been designing, what I've been preparing since we started from Power BI, and what you're going to also do in the guided project or the capstone project will be dashboard. You will design a dashboard. Now, you can design a dashboard, and out of the dashboard, you can create a report. I don't know if I'm making sense. Can you give me a reaction, please? Yes, Dorcas, thank you for your reaction. Thank you, Latif, for your reaction. Thank you, Tosin, for your reaction. Thank you, Messi. All right. So you can make a report out of a dashboard by picking each chart you have there and giving in-depth analysis. So that is why when you start working as a data analyst, or when you start applying what you've learned in any organization, or it could be your business, there will be a dashboard that will be created. And from the dashboard, weekly reports can be requested for. From that existing dashboard, you can be asked to give weekly reports. So it might be an in-depth, it might be a voluminous report, or just a short report, but the report will give in-depth insights or analysis of what has been designed. I hope that makes sense. Now, dashboards are ideal for users who need a quick or who need to quickly make decisions based on the data and monitor key performance indicators. So most times when you have dashboard, you want to make decisions on the goal. Most times dashboard has to do with something that is real time. So as you are, especially with the invent of IoT means Internet of Things. This is where data is being processed real time. These days, you have devices, you have gadgets that have dashboards that give you real time information. A perfect example would be the smartwatches that we wear around that takes different measurements of your heartbeats or your heart rate, your sleeping style, your breath, and all of those things. There is a dashboard that some of those wristwatches have dashboards that shows you these things in terms of charts, and it gives you real time feedback. So if you want any of such, Could be in your business, want to see real time, make quick decision, want to see real time feedback, then dashboard is the best, is the go-to means of communication. And report will give you in depth. So with this explanation I have given, I hope we all understand. And if somebody who is say your younger sibling or your child comes to you and say, please, I heard about the word dashboard and report. Can you please tell me the difference between these two? I hope we can do that effectively or clearly. Can we do that? Okay. Yes, thank you for the reactions. Okay, to check if uh, Oluwatosin had woken up from her sleep, let's call her to give us the difference between report and dashboard in her own understanding. In her own understanding. Tosin Fakoya, please, we want to hope that the Holy Spirit has helped us to wake you up from your sleep. If you don't mind, kindly explain the difference between a dashboard and a report in your own understanding, using your own words. Don't use my words. The way you understand it, please tell us the difference. Thank you. Ah, Omo, this sleep is very deep. Oh. I guess at this point I will have to call her. Let me call her so that she can wake up from the sleep. Let me call her on phone to let her know that her attention is needed in the class. All right. So while I'm trying to call Fakoya, okay, gift had gi- gift. Thank God that you quickly confessed because I was going to call you next. It's good that you have confessed real quick. So let me move on to Sonia. Hi, Sonia. It's been long I've heard your voice. Tell me, what's the difference in your own understanding, difference between dashboard and reports, Sonia?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi, I can hear you.
Hello, sir. Sir, sorry, I've not been following.
So which direction were you going to?
Sorry, something came up. I had to leave. I'm sorry, sir.
You see the way God take the catch people now, Sonia, and you can't take permission in the class in the chat to say, please, I am going away from my device for a few minutes. That is what to do. That is what
Yes,
courtesy
sir.
demand.
I'm
Courtesy
sorry.
demand that if you are in the class and so imagine that you're in a physical class and I'm teaching, do you think you can just stand up and walk out because you paid money for the training?
No, sir.
You can just stand up and walk out without
No,
taking
sir.
permission. It's not done. If
No,
you go,
sir.
you'll not come back to my class. I know you paid money for the training, but you'll not come back to my class because that is a high level of indiscipline and disrespect to my own person. And that's what you have
Yes, sir.
done. So you're going to pay fine for that. So whether you're in class or not, tell us you have been going through this course and there's a video that is in a classroom. You must say something. What's the difference between dashboard and reports? Let's hear you.
So I think the report should be all encompassing of your research, your findings, the objectives, the solutions, your solutions, your recommendation and solutions are the same thing. Your dashboards, everything should will be contained in a report, to my understanding. That's what I think.
You are giving us, you are differentiating two things. You only spoken about reports. How about dashboard? You say difference between report and dashboard.
Okay, dashboards are visualizations of the outputs of your findings.
All right, that is fine. That is fair. It's fair enough. Let me go to the other Tosin. Tosin, I can see we're going in and on. I mean in and out. I guess your network is not stable. But is the network stable now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, so please go ahead. Let me hear your own understanding of difference between report and dashboard.
Okay, I think they have similarities, but what differentiates dashboard is like the KPI, we can make decision on data and use to monitor key performance indicator. Why that report, the purpose is to make in-depth analysis and to explore various options from the data.
All right. Thank you. So I'd like one more person to speak before I move on. And I think at this point, I'd love to hear from Adedeji. Adedeji, please try again. Let's see if you can, if your mic will allow you to speak now.
Okay, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you now.
So they both combine, they both deals with, they both visualizes data, but for report, its main purpose is to provide in-depth analysis or research. Why for dashboard, its purpose is to provide top. I don't really know for dashboard, but dashboard only is to provide views for quality real-time data. Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Adedeji. So while you were speaking, I decided to go search for reports, sample of reports. So because one thing I don't like to do is to make things abstract for my students. I love to make things as clear as possible so that everyone can relate to what I'm saying. So like I explained the other time, when you are writing a report, it's you are given an in-depth analysis of what you have done. So, and again, I did mention that you can actually make a report from a dashboard. So for example, this is a dashboard. This dashboard tells you what is happening in real time. You can see the conversion rate from organic, maybe it could be organic post. The conversion rate 34.47%, which is a very awesome conversion rate. You can see top channels by sessions, channels, sessions, and all. Is giving you insight. Now, I might want to make a report from this. Then I'll pick this chart and give an in-depth analysis. I begin to write about that chart, this chart, to say this value, this is what it means, and then this negative part, this is previous period rate of change, and that is a negative value. Write in-depth, give in-depth analysis of each of the charts that is being presented on the dashboard. And the reports were also, like Sonia said, it's something that is also very, very close to, similar to the academic research that you do. Because your research will have, do I say research? Your report will have the problem statements. In fact, it is what you are even doing yourself in your documentation. The documentation we've already mentioned that you're going to do in GitHub. What you'll be doing in your documentation is a kind of report. I think I should show you one of such example in our own GitHub repository. And this is what we want everyone to, we want you guys to model after. Just give me a minute to open this up. Perfect. So this is a perfect example of a report. This is a report. Now, see, it says, all right, that is fine. That is fine, Sonia. It says this is official. Okay, this is just like a write-up. So here's where the report started from. Business problem. Now we have to describe the business problem. Mary is the owner of a small pharmacy located in blah blah blah. She's running a pharmacy. Then we went ahead to talk about the data sets. We gave a short, information about the data sets, and then the project objective, and then understand this. And then we also define the questions and the metrics that we intend to answer in the project. Then these are the metrics. Then we went ahead to tell you process of data. The pre-processing of the data sets. My network is also strong. There are images that are inside this. So that's what I mean, that a report can have images within the text. So this is an in-depth analysis. If somebody should go through this and with the insight, so this is the dashboard is also added here, the insights we got from the dashboard and the recommendation. So this is a kind of complete report. Am I communicating, guys? And then there are images in between. All of these things that the fish should show, these are images. This is an image. Then there are images in between. Okay. And in all these reports, it is just like a a comprehensive write-up of what was done for the entire project. It usually also contains visuals or visualization. The while dashboard, of course, you've all seen dashboard, you've built dashboard. It's just one straight collection of different charts that gives you straight one look overview of what the data is saying. Am I communicating? Please, am I communicating? Adedeji, do you now understand? Different meeting report and dashboard.
Yes,
Good.
sir.
All right. So over the next few slides, there are questions I would like to ask us, and I would want everybody's participation, right? But because of the limited questions I have, I'll be grouping this class into two. I have group A and group B. So there's going to be a winner at the end of this class, whether group A is a winner or group B is a winner. So each question that is correctly answered, there will be given 5 points to be given for each correctly answered question. If a group is not able to answer their question correctly, and the option is just one, you have just one chance to answer your question. So your first response is what we go with. If a group fails to answer that question correctly, we move on to the next group. We give a bonus mark to the next group. And if that next group answers it correctly with a very, very convincing reason, if the reason is not convincing enough, we won't give any mark to that group. But if they give us a very convincing reason, then we'll give 2 points to that group. Now, the reason why, excuse me, the reason why we're going to give just one chance to the group, and the reason why they have to give us a convincing reason, is because there are just two options to the. Oh my God! Please bear with me. There are just two options to the question, to each question that you'll be seeing. So, and before I move on to the question, it's simply the question is either you choose whether it is yes, it's a report, or no, it's a dashboard. So I'll be painting some scenarios and then ask you what is the best way to present the scenario, or to actually present that scenario. Is it going to be a report or a dashboard? So that is what it's all about. If you understand my explanation about what I just said, please give me thumbs up. All right, great. So now I will list the members. In fact, I will drop it in the chat shortly. The members that are under group A and the members that are under group B. Remember, before you answer anything, before any member of the group answers, all the members in the group has to, agree before you answer. So that because the first answer that comes out from anybody in that group is what to be taken as the answer. And if that person, if he's wrong, then the entire group has gotten the answer wrong. So that is that about that. So the people in group A are let me drop it in the chat so that everybody can see those people in their group. And if I missed anybody, please let me know if I missed you from this grouping. I see that Latif left the call, so I think I'll have to do the changing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought you left. Okay, sorry. All right. So for group A, we have Adedeji, Dorcas, Messi, Sonia, and Toyinbo Tosin. For group B, we have Chidima, Gift, Latif, and Oluwatosin. So group A has more people than group B, but that means I will be a member of group B. Group B, please don't form my hands down. I'll be a member of group B, so we can brainstorm together to choose the correct answer. Okay, so group A, don't be scared, don't worry. We will not cheat. Yes, we promise not to cheat. Okay, so let's get back to my slide, and as we show the first question. So the first question goes to group A. Group A gets set, and please remember the rules, right? The answer that we hear first is what to be recorded for the group. And I need someone to take note of the scores. Adedeji, please help me take note of the scores. Just if you have a pen with you, or if you can do it in your writing pad or anywhere, just tabulate it, have a tabular form of the recording, of the scores, group A and group B. So if group A gets their score correctly, just give it to them.
Okay.
Otherwise, do then 0. All right, thank you. Yes, you can. Okay. Oh my God. Sorry. My mic has been muted. Oh my God. I'll take that again. Sorry about that, please. I didn't know I muted myself. So I said this is the first scenario that you need to look into and answer. The sales team in the organization you work with wants to analyze monthly sales data to show details about sales trends, product performance, regional distributions, and customer segments so they can identify top selling products, target growth areas, and make informed decisions on sales strategies. Which of these two means of communication is best for this data presentation? Is it reports or dashboard? Group A, brainstorm before you answer. You have one chance. Group B, also listen, look at the question, and also think about it. If they get it wrong and you are able to give me the correct answer with a good reason, convincing reason, then we'll go with yours. All right.
So, sorry, sir, just to clarify, where are we supposed to do brainstorming? Still on this live
I didn't brainstorm
call?
again. Now.
I
Let's
want
stay on this line. We can't do breakout session, unfortunately, on this Google Meet.
okay.
Okay.
Team A. Uh, what do you think? I'm thinking reports. Um,
Yeah, I'm
hello.
also aligned
Can
with
you?
that. Yeah, hi. Yeah.
Oh, any other
I'm
person?
also
Group
aligned
A.
on the report. Deji, Mercy, Sonia, Tony, do you have an
I think
alternative
dashboard.
recommendation?
I think it's
Okay, why
it's
dashboard?
it's a mix. It's a mix between the two, but most is dashboard because it deals with monthly sales data analysis and stuff. Dashboard is more interactive and it deals with visualization and real-time updates.
I think I go with the dashboard too because with your statement, Adedeji, you are right.
Yeah.
The dashboard will give us everything. So I go with
Yes.
dashboard.
Mm.
But the idea of a dashboard is you're giving like a high level presentation using visualizations for like a CCU that wants to make a decision. A report gives you the analysis, like the details of the information. And if you read the question, it says the sales team in the organization you work with wants to analyze monthly sales data to show details about sales, regional
Network.
distribution, and cost top selling products, target growth areas, and make informed decisions. So I'm just reading it again so that all of us will think about it again properly, whether dashboard is the answer or report. Yeah. So do we still stick with the dashboard option?
Oh,
So are you going for dashboard?
actually, I still stick with reports, but I don't know.
Deji and
I don't even know. I'm not even sure again because,
seems to
but I
get
still
and
think
growth.
dashboard because
Yeah.
I still
Go
think
ahead.
dashboard because the report comes from the dashboard. Like the dashboard is gotten from the report.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah.
We must know.
subset of
Those
the
I'm waiting for
report.
your feedback. Yeah. You are
I
still
said
sticking with your
report.
report option.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I will stick with dashboard, and the reason is because the bottom last second, yeah, the last line and says so that they
Okay.
can identify top selling products, target growth areas, and make informed decisions on sales reports on sales strategies. In a report, you won't be able to see the top selling products. Do you understand? But a dashboard will show you the high level information.
Mm.
And if you want to make informed decision based on
On
that high level information
you have to
without
do
necessarily reading through the details, you can make that decision.
that
So I
And they
think a
also
dashboard.
All
say,
right.
remember
Time up.
from the explanation earlier, they said it provide a top level summary.
oh
So dashboard.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Time up.
Yeah.
Time up. So please, what's your answer now? What do you guys go with? Remember, you have just one chance. So what are you
Good.
guys concluding? Dashboard or report?
Dashboard. Dashboard.
That's
Dashboard. I can hear dashboard. Is that your final answer? Okay, in fact,
Yes.
you don't even have any option whether it's final or not. That is the final answer. So, with what you said, dashboard, I'll read this again and you pay attention to it. The sales team in the organization you work with wants to analyze monthly sales data to show details about sales trend, product performance, regional distribution, and customer segments so they can identify top selling products, target growth areas, and make informed decisions on sales strategy. Now, the answer cannot be reports. So, congratulations, the answer is correct. It's dashboard. So, why is it dashboard? why is it?
Mr.
Why is
Anandi,
it
you need
dashboard?
to go and do who wants to be a millionaire because you will confuse students. You give people plenty of high blood pressure.
So, it's dashboard because we want to see, if you look at it very well, we want to see like a real time and interactive analysis. And I mentioned that when I was explaining, I said in dashboard, we want to see real time so that they are able to, they will see the sales needs and they also want to explore monthly sales data in real time. They want to view trends, they want to be able to do drill and up, drill down and drill up. So that means you are working with dashboard. So, but a report, you want to put documentation, you want to write many things, which will not give you a kind of opportunity to see real time analysis in that sense. So it would have been a report if the data set needs to be shared in a formal kind of documented format for keeping records. So put that in mind. For I'm giving this as a tip also. And then if the analysis that is required has to be detailed, you have to go with detailed written explanation with recommendations, like I showed us from our GitHub repository. So when you are trying to decide whether it's report or dashboard, think about what I said about the GitHub repository, and I showed you a sample of a report. And then what we have spoken about the dashboard. So this is, I love the brainstorming session. Very, it makes sense. Now to keep this short and simple, I'll be giving 60 seconds going forward. Group B, Group B, sorry about that, because you gave Group A so much time to brainstorm, but I unfortunately it affects you. From the next question. So you have 60 seconds to brainstorm. So Adedeji, please put fight against Group A's, score. Group B, this is your own scenario. Immediately I
Five.
finish reading the question, I will start counting. You have 60 seconds to answer. The CEO of the organization you work with wants to monitor the company's overall performance. She wants to be able to quickly assess the business health by examining key metrics such as the revenue, the profit margins, and customer satisfaction scores to make strategic decisions based on real-time insights. What's the answer to this? Group B, you have 60 seconds and your time starts now.
Yeah, well, I feel the answer is dashboard because it says to make strategic business decision, and it's talking about the KPIs. So the CEOs are always involved or always particular about KPIs. They don't mind how you guys sort out whatever you're doing in your various departments. So I go with dashboard.
Congratulations. This was so easy and so clear. In fact, the last word there, real-time insights already let you know, okay, that should tell you that, okay, this is a dashboard. You don't even have to think 2 times because in a report, you can't be getting real-time insights. You understand? So this is clearly a dashboard. This is like a bonus question to Group B. Wow, well done. Congratulations, Group B. Group B, even without brainstorming, you're able to answer the question. Well done to you guys. So Group A, the next question is for you. The marketing team wants to track the performance of ongoing marketing campaigns. They want to be able to know firsthand how their efforts translates to campaign reach, engagement rates, lead conversions, and social media boosts so that they can identify which campaigns are driving the most impact and adjust strategies accordingly. What means of communication, report, or dashboard? 30 seconds. The time starts now.
Group A members, dashboard.
Yes, I think dashboard because it's still talking about real-time data like the campaign reach, the engage. You can check like top campaign reaches, top engagement rates, and stuff.
Any other opposing feedback from the team?
Dashboard is still dashboard, yes.
Okay, dashboard was that.
All right, dashboard it is. Well done and congratulations. So 5 points to Group A, making 10 points in total. Group B, they're on 5 points because they've not taken their second question. Well done. This is also very clear. Like you don't even have to think so much to see that this is also a dashboard because they want to track the performance. And in fact, this tracking is most likely going to be returned. Okay, then the next question. Yes, Group B. A hospital management is interested in examining patient outcomes in their hospital. They want to be able to see at intervals their patients' demographics, medical procedures, readmission rates, and mortality statistics so that they can study treatment effectiveness and identify areas for improving patient care. What means is best suited for this report or dashboard? Brainstorm before you answer this one. Don't forget you have 60 seconds. I can't hear anything from anybody. Time is ticking. It's like Latif is saying something, but I can't hear him. Your mic is unmuted, but I can't hear you. Can anyone hear Latif?
No, I'm not saying anything. I just unmuted.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying something.
No. Well, Chidima gifts. To see, well, I would on this. I'm going with dashboard because it's saying they want to know the like statistics, mortality statistics, medical procedure readmission rates, patient. But the one that is giving me concern is seeing intervals. They want to be able to see at intervals their patient demographics. So I don't know if that one can be accommodated in a dashboard. But for every other thing, I feel dashboard it is. Because they want to study the treatment effectiveness and identify areas for improving patient care. They want to use it to make business decision. That's why I choose dashboard.
So, Group B, you guys have been allowing only Latif to speak. Oluwatosin, okay, gift says in another meeting. And Chidima, you people should not be offended though, because this very question is most likely that with the response he had given, although Latif also, sorry about that, Chidima, I see you said your mic is faulty. Latif was pointing at somewhere that gave him concern, which I would have thought that that area of concern would make him have a change of mind or make him decide that reports should be the answer. But he still went ahead to say dashboard, even with the question, the scenario. The hospital management is interested in examining patients' outcome in their hospital. They want to be able to see at intervals their patients' demographics, medical procedures, readmission rates, and mortality statistics, so they can study, treatment effectiveness and identify areas for improvement. So when you're studying treatment effectiveness and then you want to so as to identify areas for improvement, do you think that it is a dashboard that you use to do that, to study this? So for that, I would say that your answer is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Ooh. It's actually dashboard. But and the reason I gave him is because this like almost a mix of dashboard and report. But because he's able to even see that he has a concern in one area in terms of the intervals. So at different intervals, report to be generated, but it is dashboard you need first. This is a case of that I painted earlier that said you can create reports from dashboard, but you present it in dashboard. Then from at different intervals, they collect reports so that they are able to study the effectiveness of the treatment they've given. So they give a first set of patients some treatment, and they studied all of these KPIs. They take down some reports over time again to check if there is any improvement in the patient and all. So it's absolutely correct that dashboard is going to be used, but some at intervals reports to be given. And I in fact I really appreciate it. It means that you really understood this concept, Latif, for the fact that you're able to see that the interval part of it, because intervals can be 1 second, right? It can be 1 minute. But in terms of studying patient effectiveness, you can't study patient effectiveness in 1 second, because those real-time data in a dashboard that we spoke about, they also come in interval. So nanoseconds is an interval. You understand? That is real time. But in terms of this studying patient treatment effectiveness, it has to do with a long time, which means that reports will be collected at different points, so that you have those results, and an in-depth analysis can be done to check for the improvement of patient. But I'm super impressed with the response that I got from Latif. Well done. That's correct. So far so good. The two groups are doing really well. You have your questions answered correctly, everybody. Well, so far so good. Congratulations to you all. Let's move on to the next question. I think this will be the last round, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check real quick to know if that's the last round. Yes, that's the last round. So any group that fails any of this question now means that it's a group that's out. So the question for group A: the finance team in the organization you work with wants to analyze the company's budget and expenses. They are interested in seeing detailed breakdowns of expenses by departments, cost centers, and projects, so they can monitor spending patterns, allocate resources, and ensure budget compliance. So what type of presentation should this be? Is it report or dashboard?
Team, I'm going with dashboard. Any contributions?
Yes, dashboard.
Okay. Any other person? Josie. Can hear
I'm thinking of reports because the question here says like they want to see the breakdown of expenses of the department. Okay, I think I'll go with dashboard too. But kind of,
you. It
I think
says
it's
the
okay.
first. Think about it well. The first line says the organization you work with wants to analyze the company's budget and expenses. So if you're going to be showing an analysis, like comparing something, what do you think would be most effective to use? Right. And that detailed breakdown of expenses by departments, you can still show it using a dashboard. So it's a combination of different data visualizations. So if you think about it that way, you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go with the dashboard too.
Okay. So now I think we're still going with dashboard though.
I wish there were three options. I would have asked, is that your final option? But unfortunately, you have just two options and you have just one chance to pick an option. So since you have said that you're going with a dashboard for a detailed breakdown analysis, it means that your answer is absolutely correct. Congratulations and well done.
Stella, I'm there back. I beg. Oh my.
Okay. Well done. So that point is also confusing when you see that the team wants to analyze the company's budget, and now that they are interested in seeing detailed breakdowns of expenses and by departments, cost center. So of course, when someone sees this detailed breakdowns, he would assume that okay, detailed breakdown. Since we said a report gives detailed, insight into stuff. But you can simply do distribution of spendings and finances, expenses and budget this thing by departments, distribution by departments, like a column chart. From there, you can easily see which departments has the highest spendings and got the highest budget. I mean, money in terms of budgeting, which cost center, or which product or project rather, that can be seen at a glance from the budget. So they can monitor spending patterns. To monitor spending patterns, you're not going to be monitoring it in a report. You are monitoring it in a dashboard to monitor your spending patterns. So when you monitor that spending pattern, you're able to allocate resources. So dashboard is the correct answer to this question. Well done, team A. And the final question to team B is as presented. The IT team in the organization you work with wants to monitor the health of the organization's IT systems. They want to be on top of their monitoring game by gaining insights into server uptime, network latency, security alerts, and application performance in real time so they can proactively address potential issues and maintain a reliable IT environment. Now, how can they best present this? Is it in terms of report or dashboard? Team B.
Well, since I'm the one representing Team B, so I would say the IT team wants to be on top of the health of the organization. So, and they're saying they want to gain insights into the server uptime. And by that, they want it in real time so they can proactively address potential issues and maintain a reliable IT environment. I would say it's dashboard because they want it in real time. Yeah, I'm going with dashboard, Stidima. Yeah.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So anything real time, you don't want to be putting reports for real time access. That's absolutely correct. Don't put that phone down. So well done, team A and team B. This was a very, very interesting session that we've had. And I hope that with these different scenarios and explanations we gave to the answers we chose had given us better understanding into what report is and what a dashboard is. So when you are asked to create a report or prepare a report, you don't start asking your manager or your stakeholder or your clients, what do you mean by report? And so with this one, for those of you who are yet to submit your SQL projects, you will see that in the project you were requested to make a report. A report is part of the guided project that you submit in the SQL. So by now, those of you on this call should already know what is expected of you in your submission. So you don't begin to ask us, what do we mean by report? What should be in a report? A report is the comprehensive write-up of what the problem statement is from the beginning of the problem statement down to the recommendations. Beginning of problem statement down to recommendations. So you should have everything well written out. But in terms of this, your guided projects, the problem statement is already given and questions were asked. So what you're supposed to do in your report for your SQL guided project is for you to answer those questions that you have answered by writing the queries. So we are not interested in seeing the queries you have written. And that is how it is. No matter how long the queries seem or would seem, your stakeholder, your manager, your client is not interested in the query. What you're interested in is the output, is the report, is the answer you got. So we say list the names and the employee, the names of the customers and their location that purchase social item from the Chinook or from the database you're working on. Then in your answer, you start giving me the query. We don't need it. What do you want to do with the query? What you want is the results. So you put it down in your report. So question, so. Now from the question, the question that asks that I list it in, this is the report or the output of my query. We have the names. There are so number of customers as listed below. And from these customers, 3 of them are from this country. These are for this country. So that is a report giving us detailed report about what you have gotten from the output of the query you have written. So in SQL, you're expected to write reports. From your dashboard, you can also make reports from the dashboard. And again, I believe with this class, you should be able to make your reports for even the projects you worked on in Google Sheets, the dashboard you presented, make a report from out of that dashboard and populate it on your GitHub repository. Make a report from your SQL class, make a report from your guided projects, and everything should go to your GitHub repository and your reports for this capstone project you'll be working on. Most of you will start by next week. Everything should be populated on the GitHub repository. So with this, congratulations, you now understand the difference between infographics, reports, and dashboard. And I think this is a very good place to celebrate yourself. But that's at the end of the class. in case you're thinking you're going to jump off the call now, the class continues. Thank you very much. Now, in the second part of the class, now that I have solidified what these 3 means of communications are, let's quickly talk about how to create a good dashboard and how to make story from a dashboard. So I think my system also wants to leave, but I will not allow it to go. Yes, elements of a good data storytelling. What do you consider to have a good data storytelling? Number 1, data visualization. And this part of the class had been dealt with in the video that was attached to the classroom. The video spoke about choosing the right chart for the right type of data to communicate. So in your data visualization, you have to choose the right charts. In choosing the right charts, what do we mean? When you are creating a dashboard, now in your guided project for SQL, there were steps that were given on different charts to be created, right? That's why it was called guided project. But your capstone project, there is no single step. For those of you that have opened it, you would have seen it already. That the only thing you have there is your data sets and your problem statements. So everything that you have to do from beginning to end is in your hands. All right. So at that point, you need to understand what data sets, what type of data is suitable for what type of charts. For instance, we have said it again and again, and it was also mentioned in the video that was uploaded in the classroom, that when you are presenting categorical data sets, it's either you use a column chart or a bar chart or a pie graph or a pie chart to present the categorical data set. It doesn't make sense to present categorical data sets using a line graph. Now, for those of you who does not know what categorical data sets are, but I don't think there's any of such person on this call that doesn't know what that cannot give examples of categorical data. If such person is on the call, well, I don't think the person is on the call because we have said it again and again. But let me just cite an example of a perfect example of categorical data. It would be, let's say, your educational, let's say educational qualification or education qualification. You want to group people based on their qualification. You want to group people based on their gender, male, female, that you're categorizing. Anything that will help you to group people or to group things, to group items. You want to group items based on color, red, green, yellow, blue. You're able to group them. You want to group people based on their age group. You want to bring infants. You want to collect toddlers. You want to collect children. You want to collect teenagers and young adults, and then older generation into different classes or groups. Those are categorical data. Am I communicating? Now, when to present such data, anything that groups or categorizes items, we use column charts, bar charts, or pie charts from using any data visualization tool. Those are the best things. So this is an example where you can see even this picture. This is an example of a bar chart. I mean a column chart, right? But the choice of between pie charts or column charts depends on the categories. If the categories are if the category is more than 3, 4, sometimes 4 can still work. If it is from 5 and above, excuse me, it's not advisable to use a pie chart. If the categories, if it lies from 5 and above, don't even use a column, a pie chart or a donut chart to present such data. Use a column or a bar chart. If whatever I'm saying does not make sense to you, maybe because you missed some part of these things I'm mentioning, please say it. I would open the Power BI now and show you practically. If any part of what I'm saying doesn't make sense to you, maybe the pie chart I mentioned I'm talking about, or the donut chart or the column chart, you don't know what it is, please say now. I'll give you opportunity to know what those means by opening that Power BI and showing you. But I'm not showing you because I assume that it's something that you've learned already. So please, are we good? Am I communicating? Good. So, and again, when it comes to presenting time series data, like data that has to do with time over the years, or over the month, or over days, or over time, the best type of chart to use for such data is line graph, or area graph. So the area graph and the line graph, they're the same thing, just that for area graph, you see a shaded area under the line graph. All right. So the best type of chart for which other type of chart do we have? There are different types of charts. Now, these things I'm saying here, they've already been discussed in that video in the classroom. Please, that was the reason why I asked us if we've gone through them. So for you to have a good data storytelling, you start by choosing the right chart. When you choose the wrong chart, then you won't be communicating the right insights. That is not the goal. Or that is the reason why we are stressing on choosing the right chart. Now, number 2 component of having a good data storytelling is insights. Now, in between your charts, you should have some kind of aha moments. Try to give insights or to state insights in between your charts. An example would be for the guided project that we've worked on, right? Those of I wish I don't want to open the dashboard because it might slow down my system. You will see that in year 2022, right, or 2020, there was a kind of drop down. There was a kind of drop in the crime rate from your charts. Now that peak of the drop down you can actually put a color code or a dot and highlight it red. So that would drag people's attention to the charts, to that point of the chart. So someone's attention be like, aha, so what happened here? So a way to drag someone's attention in your graph or your dashboard is by color shading. Adding colors to colors that makes some that speaks to some kind of that gives some kind of understanding or insight to be part of your visualizations. Even the tables that we created, you can add red arrow or red triangle facing up to show that there's an increase in crime rates whenever the percentage change is a positive value. Then green arrow facing down or green, it could be green arrow or green triangle facing down, which means there's a decrease in the crime rates in terms of the percentage change. There may be a dash to show that, okay, there's no change in crime rates. So all those color shading and different icons to show things is what brings about the aha moments. Like a dashboard I designed, you see these aesthetics, I mean these stars. I use stars to represent the ratings. That is a kind of catchy moment for anyone that sees the dashboard. Once they look at it, because there were ratings for different sections or different sections in my dashboard. So I didn't just say ratings, five rating or 4. I can do that. The rate, there was 4 out of 5 ratings for this particular product. But this thing would catch people's attention. This star you see here, there's a way you can do it in your dashboard. That will catch people's attention when they see the star and they see that there are out of the 5 stars, 4 or 2 are shaded yellow. I'm not showing the dashboard, I'm showing my slide. But in my slide, there are stars there. I'm pointing to the stars. So you can shade 2 out of the 5 stars, and then someone can see quickly that this particular insight was rated 2/5. So all of those things these are things that you need to learn how to do. Additional things you need to learn how to do to make your dashboard make sense and give more insights. Then narratives. So this is the point of communicating or presenting your dashboard. And this is what we would like to see in our final presentation that will be happening, that is proposed to happen next week, Saturday, live presentation. Okay, so we propose to have it physical presentation. And the condition for the physical presentation to hold is if everybody, especially those that reside in Abuja, are able to complete their capstone projects and ready for presentation on or before Friday. That is when we can have the presentation to be physical. Now, this is because we are actually for our physical venue that we're using, we usually pay per use. So it makes sense for us to go to have our physical presentation there that very day. Excuse me, please. So as I was saying, it should make sense for us to go have our presentation there that very day, and we have just 1 or 2 persons coming to present. Okay, after paying money to use the place for that day. So it will not make sense. So that's the reason why we're saying this is what we propose. And we hope and wish that it happens, because that is an opportunity for us to meet. That's going to be the last time we have a session. So that's going to be the last time we'll have a meeting, and to be a very, very nice time to have some pictures together, get to meet each other one-on-one, and talk more about what we've learned. All right, and connect. So that is the goal. Okay, so that day we want to see your narrative power of communicating your findings, telling stories from your data set. All right. So I'm really looking forward to that day. And then what next? Now know your audience. When you're giving your narrative or you're trying to present your findings or your dashboard, you have to understand your audience. So who are the end users of the dashboard? Is it an employee, a team, or the entire company? How will they interact with the dashboard? These are the questions that should be in your mind when you are preparing your dashboard, because that will help you to build the dashboard well, to be able to give the right insights to the right persons. And then gather information. So what questions need to be answered by the dashboard? Of course, you've mentioned this one while you were still doing your Power BI course. What decision do they need to make with the dashboard? What actions will be taken based on the information on the dashboard? So these are the information that you have to put in place or put to heart when building your dashboard. And even when giving your presentation, all of these actionable points should be considered, because we don't want to come and listen to you present a dashboard, and at the end of the day, we don't get insights, we don't get recommendation on how to improve on the loopholes you found, on how to keep it up on the excellent things you've seen from the data analysis. Is very important. And then the dashboard design is another thing that we have to look at, which is very, very important. From the presentation you guys did for your guided projects, I must commend this particular cohort. A lot of people did an amazing job by designing very good dashboard, good looking dashboard. Since a lot of us on this particular course, we have the sense of adding colors and color combination. People like Gift, I love his dashboard and his color combination. Like Adedeji, like Tosin, what's her name, Sonia's, Messi. Yeah, so all those dashboards that you guys designed, they are top notch. Like they make sense, and we want to see more of those in your design. It makes sense for you to give us a very good looking dashboard. Yep. So you can choose a template before you even start designing dashboard. Go online. Feel free to go online and have insights of how dashboards are being presented. Then copy or borrow a particular design or a template from online. Then you are also free to make a lookup or a mock-up of your design. Look up the dashboard layout. You can choose your color scheme and also a customized theme. There are also different customized themes even in Power BI, Power BI desktop. Then the mock-up design is just a rough sketch. Before you even start designing your dashboard, before you start placing your charts, place this card here. You can decide to just make a rough sketch of how you would like the dashboard to look at the end of the day. And what will help you make your sketch successfully is by the questions you drafted. If you've drafted the right questions, you know the type of charts to create already, and then you can make a mock-up of how they'll be arranged. And finally, your design. You have to replicate what you have on your mock-up plus the layout you have chosen and the color scheme you've also decided to use. So dashboard design is an interactive process. You might have to go back to a previous step even after the final design. You can go back and rechange or reorder things. That is what dashboard is. So in terms of layout, what we mean by layout is how do you want people to read your dashboard? And most times, it is, in fact, it is always advisable to make people read your dashboard from left to right. So we have two types of layout. We have the Z layout and we have the F layout. All right. So for Z layout, excuse me, for Z layout, it means that you want people to read from left. They read it to the right. They come back like this and read from left to right. Then they come down here, read from left to right. They come down here, read from left to right. That is what Z layout looks like. F layout is you read from left to right, then you come down, read from that place to this place, down from top to the bottom, then come to this place, read to the end, and read to the end. So what I mean by read. This is when you are presenting the way. So you don't present by talking about this chart, then jump into this chart. I mean the chart by your top left, then jump to the chart by your top bottom right, then move to the chart that is at the center, and then come to the chart that is at the bottom left, and then the chart at the bottom at the top right. It doesn't make sense. So the way you want to present or talk about your dashboard, that is the way you're going to arrange your chart. And it has to be arranged in a chronological order that will make sense when you're telling story. In fact, make a story out of the data by the way you present your charts. Please, am I making any sense at all? I'm not seeing reactions. Am I communicating? All right, good. Thank you very much. And with that, you also have to incorporate best practices when you're building your dashboard. Like, do not clutter your charts. Don't make your charts cluttered, be cluttered. Be consistent with your labeling. Don't use 3 points or 3 pixels points in one particular label, and then the other one you use bold, and then the other you use thin. Everything has to be the same labeling. Always use appropriate chart header. I don't be using. I see most times some people will just use the same title of the table as or the column as described on the table as their chart title. Please do not be seeing underscored like global underscore this thing. No. Make sure you give it a clear label, and then create emphasis with colors. Like I mentioned, create emphasis with colors in your chart, and then keep your chart simple. Don't make it look so complex. Keep it simple. And those are some best practices you have to put in place when creating your visualization. And I think with this, we've come to the end of today's class on data storytelling. I hope you've learned something new. And with what you've learned, I hope this will help you have a better presentation during your final capstone project, and also your documentation that we put up in your GitHub repositories. Thank you very much for joining today's class. Our next meeting is on Thursday. On Thursday, I'll be showing you guys how to document in GitHub. We'll have a practical session of how to document in GitHub repository. And between now and then, if anybody needs help with their LinkedIn, please feel free to reach out to us. We are open. We will not have a collective session on that, but we are open to jumping on a call with you to help you optimize your LinkedIn page. Thank you very much. Latif, you have a question for me?
Yes, I would appreciate if you can share an already made data story with us.
An already made, is it in terms of a data presentation or in terms of a dashboard that we've created, and or in terms of a documentation? So, we spoke about different components of data storytelling. In what regards are you talking about?
Well, I did Tableau, so
Yes.
the data story part of it, so something like that, that's what I want, just to see how it looks like and how it flows.
Okay. Is it is the data presentation part? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, let me see if I can show one dashboard and attempt to give a presentation. Let me see. I hope this dashboard will open really quick and allow me to present it. So while my dashboard is coming up, are there other questions from anybody? So our next class is not Thursday, actually. Our next class is tomorrow. We have basic statistics before Thursday. So tomorrow's class will be the final class in terms of the course. Then on Thursday, we would have just a session on how to document on GitHub repository. While on Friday, we expect that everybody had already turned in their dashboard from the capstone project as we get set to having the physical presentation on Saturday. And like I said, if one person, even if it's only one person that didn't complete their presentation, that will make us go back to doing our presentation online. My dashboard is still coming up. So So my dashboard is still coming up. Just give me a few minutes, please. My system is becoming really slow. I don't blame the system. It has been on for a long time. There are so many things that are opened. The dashboard is open, but it's loading. Let me go ahead and share a different screen. Okay. My system is really hanging, just becoming very slow. It's just be patient so I can share the new screen that just opened.
Okay, sir.
All right, so let's do this. Here's my Google. God, system, don't do this to me now. Dashboard is up. I'm trying to wait for my system to allow me to change my screen. All right, so it's here. Yes, so can you see my screen now?
Yes.
All right, so this is a dashboard that was presented
Yes.
with Power BI, and as you can see, it is a clear. It has a clear title on it, which is Datafied Productivity Tracker.
Okay. Hello. You are muted.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to address something. So now let's assume these are you guys on the call as stakeholders, and you are the people that will be using this dashboard, and we've presented the dashboard. And I mean, I've designed a dashboard now to present to you. So I have to start somewhere, right? Hello, good day, everybody. My name is Austin. I'm a data analyst with Datafied Technologies. Datafied Technologies being an online company, which means it has staff working remotely from different parts of the country and beyond. We had a challenge of tracking the productivity of our staff, and we needed to quickly resolve that. And one way we thought of doing that is to create a task assignment tool, which we have done with Google Sheets to assign daily tasks to our staff, right? And once the task is been assigned, the staff get on to the task. They also choose the task status to let us know if the task has started or is ongoing or is completed. Now, when the record is being collected, everything goes into a sheet, and from the sheet we get it into Power BI. Now, this is the dashboard that has been built from those task assignments. And since the time this dashboard was built to this moment, you would see that 132 tasks has been assigned. Okay, and of these 132 tasks, there were 55. We have had 55% completion rate, which means that of 100%, 55 people. I mean, we had not 55 people actually. We've had 55% completion rates of all 132 tasks. 55% of them have been completed, and the average task completion rate in days is 3 days, which means it's on the average it takes 3 days for a staff to complete their tasks from the data set I'm seeing here, depending on the complexity of the tasks. And I will come back to the employees filter because this is where we can use to drill down into which employee does what or has what tasks assigned to them. So this one, we'll come back to this to go into deeper insights or drill down into different employees and what they've done. But coming to the next task that has to do with this task status. Remember I said that once a task is assigned to the staff, they go on to their sheet and then choose the status of the task. So it's either the it's not done, it's blocked, it's not completed, it's in progress. So of all 132 tasks, 73 of them had been captured as completed. 17 are in progress, 2 not started, 1 blocked, 1 not done. So this is so from this distribution, you can see we have quite a number of completed tasks. But these ones that are still in progress, even up to this moment, we have to check what is going on with these tasks that are in progress. And let's even drill down to see it. When I click on in progress, it shows from our chart, you see that in progress tasks, there are more in September, almost 12 of them. 12 in September and 2 in August, and then we have 2 in October. So, and of these in progress tasks, there are assigned. So we can also look at, before I talk about the in progress by drilling down, we also have distribution by priority of the tasks. The tasks as assigned and by priority. So from the tasks, a staff can be assigned a task, and its staff can also give himself a task to be done. That is why we have assigned and self-assigned. So of all 132 tasks that has been assigned, of that number, we have 21 which is self-assigned with high priority, right? And then there are about 13 self-assigned with high priority, and a few of them are low and no. Of course, of all tasks, the high priority task is more prevalent. And this particular data set shows that it's just tasks that have been captured between August and September. And of all the months, September has the peak number of assigned tasks, and distribution of self-assigned and assigned of all 132 tasks, we have 89 to 67% of them were assigned and 32% of them were self-assigned. Well, this is match status. This is a column that tells us that an email has been sent to notify the staff that the task has been assigned. So here, opened means of the 132 tasks that were assigned, 30 emails that were sent were opened. 30 out of 132 were opened, and sent 25. When you see 25, when you see sent means that the messages were delivered, but the staff didn't open their emails to see the message. But they saw it that it was delivered, but didn't click to open. So 30 opened, 25 sent, which means they did not open. Then 4 of them got the so this 25 of this 25, it also means that they have done the task since the follow-up is just 4. So if it was sent and they didn't open, but there was no follow-up sent, it means that they received the task, even though they didn't open the email, but they went to their sheets to do the task. But of this whole 25 cents, 4 had to be sent follow-up because they failed to do the task when they got the email notification. And just one person of all of them click on the email to visit the task. Of course, they all have access to the sheet, so it's not they're not compelled to click on the link that was sent to their email, since they can go to their drive to open their sheet easily. So it's only one of all the emails that have been sent that went back, that clicked on the link to their email to look at their task, the assigned task. And this is a table that shows the description of the task, the number of days it took them to complete the task, the type of task assigned, and the owner of the task. So like I said about this drill down, we can begin to look at, okay, this Adura, who is the person that appeared the first, what are the tasks assigned so far, and what days did it take him to complete the task? Once I click on that checkbox, you notice that the dashboard has changed. So 4 tasks assigned throughout for Adura only in September. And these are the tasks assigned and the number of days it took him to complete those tasks. And in fact, all of the tasks that were assigned to Adura in September, they were all self-assigned. You can see it here, self-assigned. And the description of the task with the number of days it took him. The first task took him 0 day, which means the day he assigned the task, he finished it. The other task took him 1 day, right? 4 days and all. So this is an overview of the productivity distribution tracker for DataFight. I hope this makes sense. Now with this dashboard, we will be able to look at what staff has done, and we can also, based on the recommendation, this particular dashboard can be used to check what the tax staff are working on, how long it's taking them to work on the tax, and that will give us an idea into which staff is not doing what well, and how to follow up on them to ensure that they do their tax as expected. I hope that makes sense, and if there are any questions, you can ask. So, Latif, that is data storytelling. You understand it, and you see the way I was able to.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
understand it. But in Tableau, there's a what's it called, a column or like a section for data story itself. We have the worksheet, we have the dashboard, then we have the data story. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah. So, but this is okay.
You didn't touch on that part.
Yeah, we did, but we didn't do it. We didn't do much of it. So
the data is all about. So I know what you're talking about. Sometimes there's an AI component in that device, even in Power BI, that can help you to get insights from your data, from your charts. It's an AI tool that can help you derive insights and give you recommendations as from what your chart is saying. Do you understand?
Okay.
So those AI tools that can do that. That can do that for you.
Because on Tableau, there's something called caption, like the title. Yeah.
Yes.
That for each what's it called? Each page should have a caption.
Yes. So this is you're welcome. So there's this chart that is called key influencers. Now, once this is selected, and then you click and drag a field to this place, it will show you some key influencers in that field. Let's say I want to add owner, for instance, to this particular stuff. Okay, it's not what influencers owner to be. Let me say Adura, since it's the first person on that field, explained by, let's say, where is tax? Explained by tax. Top analysis. Okay, result of fund. So you can see that it's going to check through to see if it can give me an analysis and give me recommendation on what it is. So from either top segment or key influencers. So this is most likely something that is closer to that data storytelling that you spoke about in Tableau.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you very much for that question. So are there other questions? Anyone? All right. In the absence of questions, I want to say thank you once more to everybody for staying